cabbage fields, and it's nice to see some weeds in them. You do see a lot which is absolutely perfect, which means they've been sprayed quite a lot. But you see that line of trees there? That's the old sea bank. In fact, let's see if we can zoom in. You see there in that gap? That's the old sea bank. So, if we zoom out and come round, and I've picked today because there's no wind. I came here a couple of days ago, and I thought it'd be alright, but no, just far too much breeze. It had been a very sunny day, or it was the start of a very sunny day. That looks like a buzzard there. I wonder how close we're going to get. But here, what I was going to say was, here is the more modern sea bank, and they're doing a lot of work on it. They're raising the level and strengthening it, and they're doing it for a very long stretch, and they wouldn't spend this sort of money without a good reason. Anyway, let's move on and get a bit closer. I'm not sure whether that buzzard will fly off, but let's try. Okay, it may be a bit difficult to see this, or to make it out, but you see that bank there? That's the original sea bank or sea wall, and you see that slope that comes down. Well, what happened previously was that slope followed down about another 10-12 feet, something like that. Then there was a little flat area and a ditch and a fence, and then, let's say for instance, the ditch would have been, see that mound there? It would have been about where those tyre tracks are there. So what they've done is they filled that ditch in and gone all the way to there. So they've come out a long way and dug out what I can only assume would be at some point a lagoon, and put a load of backing against the sea wall, the sea bank. And they're still at work now. I do have some footage from a couple of days ago. I might just put a bit of that in there, but it's not that good. Right, whilst we're here, let's get up on the top of the bank and wander along. So looking north, it's quite a long way. You can see they worked on that bank there. And it comes along, and then there's a wiggle which you can't see, and then this bank here, all this has been worked, and then there's a piece of the lagoon, and it looks like they've built a mound there. That's obviously a habitat mound. There's a bit of scale. And then, if I can see them, there they are. There's a couple of ships out there, and that's the remains of the Wainfleet bombing range. And then we keep coming round, and this is the wash. Let's just level the camera up. And there in the distance Let's zoom in a bit. Is Norfolk. So this is the Wash, that square bit of sea that sticks into England above East Anglia. And the sea isn't that angle, it's the camera. I'm having particular difficulty with it today. So let's just zoom out a bit, and we come round, and I'm aware that I've got to pan slowly. And we keep coming round, and there in the distance you can just about see that's the square end of the Wash. And we keep coming round, and there is more of the sea bank. And more diggers right in the distance there. And that looks like Butterwick pumping station. Yeah, it's quite a long way away, isn't it? As you can see here, they've created these lagoons. With these dividing walls. There we are. I'm not sure, they look unfinished as yet, so I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. And there's another one. And another one. So it's a work in progress. Bit difficult with the sun like this. Can't see the viewfinder quite so well. So when I was here a couple of days ago, that is the top level of the bank. As you can see, there's the grass where they scraped it off. And this was about 6 foot lower, but they've brought it up, and I'm not sure what the finished level will be, or whether they will build on top of this yet again. I'm not sure.
1.2 metres above the existing, which takes you to a level of 7.1, which is obviously to take into account is breached now on 2 or 3 occasions with the basically with the tides rising.
Yeah.
You know, it's to stop.
We're talking global warming here, aren't we?
Old Leak and everywhere else getting flooded, basically. Right. So yeah.
So 1.2 metres. This is
the original. Yeah. So it'll be roughly chest height above this. Yes. Which gives you then whoever predicts. Whatever, you know.
According to certain people, it's not going to happen, but.
Well, yeah, we hear this, but it has come over. So,
of course it has.
To me, I don't know. I don't get involved in the politics.
No. And so, is this batter here going to continue up at this
Yeah,
line?
that
then?
continue. If you actually go to the far end, to what we call it Levington pumping station.
Oh, Outgate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's actually some.
It's completed
There's
there.
100 metres or so, isn't there, of completed works. You'll
Oh.
actually see
Perfect.
that is going. Basically, that then will be mirrored
All the
right
way.
the way through.
Right.
Yeah, that's probably. I mean, this you get a good gist of what's going on.
And so this is coming up another.
This will keep coming up and up and up. It'll end up there.
Yeah.
That batter runs through to about here somewhere. It flattens off, so you've got that flat bit will then be out to there.
Yeah.
Then it tails off.
And are they going to be wildlife lagoons?
We've been told
Yeah.
wetland scrapes.
All right. So it's seasonal. In the summer they dry out.
They will do, yeah, because you can see now the outfalls are actually higher than the borrow areas.
Yes.
But come the winter,
It'll all be full.
I'm sure they'll all fill up to the level of the original outfalls.
Right. And these little mounds in here, are they like nesting sites or
No,
something?
they'll go eventually. That's topsoil, which basically when we do this, it all gets flipped on its head and that comes back up. This gets dressed up. Hopefully it'll all be beautiful grass.
And a nice public footpath along the top.
Footpaths along the top,
Yeah.
and obviously you'll get to see a few miles further because you'll be another 1.2 metres high.
And you got the fence on the marsh side now rather than the field side.
That's only temporary to stop the cattle, because obviously we've got to re-establish the growth on here.
Yes.
Which is critical to keeping the bank together.
Yeah.
Without that, the sea would just wash this lot
Straight
away.
through.
So when we get the embankment up to finish work, it's hydroseeded, and we just have to, excuse me.
That batter or angle will continue up, and there will be 1.2 metres of soil above this, and then it will go flat and then slope down the other side. And these here will be what they call scrapes or seasonal water or something like that. So effectively they will be habitat, and the water level will vary. Now, according to that guy I've just spoken to, he was saying that it's surprising that when you get a very high tide and the sea is up the bank a bit, then it will seep through this huge mound of soil. But apparently most of that seepage is through the original ditches that were filled in when this whole bank was created in about 1960. And that bank over there in the distance is about 1810.